All right, let's go.
It's the BQW Podcast, presented by Bigg Q's World. Here's where we talk about consumer technology, everyday life struggles, pop culture, latest news stories, and whatever else that goes on inside of Bigg Q's brain. All right, Geekazoids, it's going down right now. Here's your host, Bigg Q.
What's happening? What's going on, everybody? What's happening? It's your boy Bigg Q. This is the BQW, Bigg Q's World Podcast. The last one for the year, right? It's the last one for the season. The last one for the year. And you know, it's been a wild year. This one's been kind of cool. 1 year back at work. I mean, because I know we was doing this. We started this podcast while I was at home on quarantine. I remember that vividly. Being at home, bored, didn't know what to do. Was just like, man, I got to figure out something to do. So I was like, hey, everybody else in the world is podcasting right now. Why am I not podcasting or whatever? So that's when I decided to kind of, go on this little endeavor to figure out what's going on. And it's been cool. It's been fun ever since. I've been having a really, really good time doing it. And of course, we've been having a lot of success with the podcast on the other podcast, the Smart Guys Tech Podcast. Been doing great with that. The Bigg Q's where we're just not cranking it back up. It's been good. Like I said, we winding down the year, winding things down a little bit, getting ready for things to come in the new year. And I got a lot of cool stuff that I got planned for the podcast, for a lot of the different things that I'm working on. Like if you guys weren't aware, the Samsung Q YouTube channel growing so quickly and so fast that we just now approaching our first 100 subscribers, and the channel has only got 5 videos on it. It's only been up for a few months. It's growing spectacular. I'm going in the coming year. I will be putting a lot of time and energy into that. Also, we're rolling into the 6th season of the Smart Guys Tech Podcast with me and Keon. And so we really excited about what we got coming for that show. A lot more audience participation. Want to bring more of our fans and our listeners into the show, which is great, which reminds me of what we got planned for this particular podcast, the BQW. Got some plans with the BQW. Got plans on bringing in some contributors. So like when I had these sports stories, I got some, a couple guys in mind that I want to bring in for, when we talk about sports stories and things like that. I also have me and one of the homies been chopping it up lately, thinking about bringing him in as a contributor for a lot of the music and hip hop stuff that we talk about. Dude is a hip hop connoisseur. Can't wait to pick his brain on a lot of different things that I like to talk about here on the show. So that's going to be great. I'm excited for all of that. So all that stuff is what we got coming in 2022. So again, excited about all of it. I think it's going to be great if we can pull it off properly. So it should be good and that kind of thing. And also I think I got a pretty decent show for you guys on the last show of 2021. I think I got a pretty good show. I want to talk about, the thing that everybody's talking about was been on the minds of most people who've been paying attention to social media this week. Jay-Z kind of spoke out on the Alicia Keys Twitter space about how he didn't think nobody could rock with him or step to him on that Verzuz stage. Sparked a lot of controversy, a lot of debate. Everybody had something to say. I do too. We're going to talk about that as well. Also, more on a serious tip, because I always got to talk about some serious things on the show as well. as we move into the third year of dealing with this global pandemic, certain things like vaccination protocols and everything has been ramped up with this old Omicron variant running rampant. A lot of mandates are affecting people's jobs and people's, where they work. I figured it'd be a good discussion to have on the show tonight. So we'll be talking about that a little bit, how the vaccine mandates are affecting your job, or if they are affecting your job or not, and that kind of thing. So I figured it's kind of cool because I've seen a couple different things close to me that I kind of feel like I want to speak on a little bit, and that kind of thing. So there's that, and then of course coming off this holiday season of excess and opulence, working as a retail guy like I am, I get to see it from all kind of angles. And it's so weird because every year that I work retail and every Christmas season that come by, I see how people respond, and they're rushing out and they're, doing everything in their power to make sure that they, taking care of Christmas. And people got this weird notion that, it's about making sure that you have to make sure that you buy gifts and stuff for your kids. Christmas has become a weird little monster or whatever, but it got me to thinking about the struggles and a lot of the things that I went through growing up, and how, growing up the way I did, pretty much, at the poverty line, and, didn't really have a whole lot to really, brag and talk about. We were very poor, and watching like my mom kind of go through the whole thing every year just to make sure, we were going to have a Christmas or whatever. I don't, as an adult, I look at it and it's weird. So I feel like we'll get into that conversation. We'll talk about it, but the show is live tonight, and that's a great idea. And also, I was hoping that we may be able to get somebody to contribute and somebody to call. I'll have a live telephone line that I have that I'm going to put up on the screen whenever I feel like I want to bring somebody into the conversation. So I will be doing that. So we'll be putting the number up on the screen and that kind of stuff. If you guys want to call in and talk to me about a couple different things. So I think that's going to be a pretty decent show to end the year with. And let's get right into it. So as I was talking about it earlier, it was like me as a kid kind of watching, how, my mom was always trying to make sure that because it was me, I'm the oldest of 5 kids. And of course we were, like I said, we were very, very, we were dirt poor. And just watching her kind of go out of her way to make sure that she had stuff for us for Christmas. When honestly, when you think about it, like I said, as I grew up and became an adult, I realized, that a lot of that stuff wasn't super important. And when I see people kind of going through what they go through to make sure that, kids have stuff, and it's this weird, crazy social dynamic where people expect people to do certain things, like especially during the holiday period. Like it's almost like certain things are expected. And Christmas is like a weird one because a lot of weird things are expected during Christmas. And then if you actually took some time and sat back and just looked at it, and it seemed very odd. I mean, at least to me, it seems very odd. Like I don't understand how, and me being a retail guy again, like I'm sitting there. It's the week of Christmas. I mean, it's the 20th or the 23rd or whatever, and people are coming up to me asking me about stuff, and then get upset because I'm sold out this close to Christmas. Like, what makes you think I'm gonna have this kind of stuff? And then in a year like this year, where this year it was widespread supply chain issues and things like that. So you would think that people would have saw that it was hard to get stuff in 2021, that they would make some moves a little earlier. They would kind of start thinking about what they wanted to do for the holidays, in the early fall or late summer, around August, September, October, around that time, for the most part. But again, it's one of the things like people don't really think about it, because really I was working Christmas Eve, and and working Christmas Eve was the worst, because I really don't get how you could be shopping for a person that clearly you is a person you love or means something to you on the night before Christmas, right? Which means you ain't really put a lot of thought into the gift in the first place, in my opinion. You know, but going back to what I was saying earlier, it's just being somebody who wasn't used to having a whole lot. We were grateful for pretty much every Christmas that we were able to have any type of gift, because I can't remember. I can't say I can remember a Christmas where we didn't have some type of. I mean, sometimes it was things that that me and my brothers had to share. So I remember we got like a Voltron, or maybe it was a knockoff Voltron. Maybe it wasn't a real thing. I don't remember. Remember, it was some type of robot that you stuck together to form like a bigger one or whatever. But since it came in pieces, I guess the moms thought it was cool that I just give this to my boys, and all three of them can kind of share it and play with it together. We really didn't think of it that much. We just thought it was a cool toy, and it did have a couple different pieces, so we all got a chance to play with it and stuff like that. So it didn't really think much about it, but it got me to thinking, like, if you try to pull something off like that today, with today's youth, because I'm gonna tell you, it was very weird. I remember when we got our first Nintendo, and I just remember getting the first Nintendo, and we had to set it. We me and my brothers, we had to sit on this little bench that my stepfather had built for us, and we sat on that bench, and we played our games on the bench together. But then and it's the same thing. I remember being at work like last week, watching parents. I watched this guy buy 2 gaming PCs, like 2 separate PCs, and 4 separate monitors, because each kid had to have like 2 monitors or whatever. So because you can't buy one kid one thing and the other one not have, because it doesn't work that way apparently in today's. I guess, I don't know. But I'm just watching this, right, and I'm just like, there's no way we would have been able to do that like that back in the day. But this guy bought separate computer systems for his 2 kids to play in separate rooms with. They're not even in the same room playing against one another. Same thing where I saw a mom buying a couple different video game systems, like she was buying like 2 Xboxes or whatever, you know what I mean? Because I just remember me and my brothers, we sat on this little wooden bench in front of this little black and white TV that we played our game of What Up, Glass? So we got Arnold Glasses in the building. So, hey, Glass, what I was saying was the stream is live tonight, and I'm actually going to be doing some little bit of a call-in, so depending on how long you're going to be around, and when you want to come in, I'm going to put the number up. And maybe if you feel like you don't want to join in on one part of the conversation, you can come and join in. I'll be putting a number up whenever when I feel like I want to bring a contributor into the thing. But man, good to have you in the building. But I'm just talking about me thinking about me growing up and not having much, and watching like me being like working in retail, watching how these guys do all this opulence and all this stuff early in the buying all this stuff for the kids. It was kind of sick, and it was weird to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, because like I said, when you grow up as poor as I did, we didn't really expect much. It wasn't like it wasn't like we was expecting, X, Y, and Z. We wasn't expecting anything. Like if we got something, it was dope. You know what I'm saying? It was like, and like I said earlier, I can't say I recall ever not having anything. I don't know if I can recall that, but I do remember the things that we did get. We definitely appreciate it. It wasn't much and nothing like that, but just watching the opulence and the excess that these parents were just doing during this retail holiday, it blew my mind. I really could not believe how much excess. And these kids are just, and it's almost like if they don't have it, that's the end of the world for them. Like, it's hard for me to imagine it because, like I said, because of the way I grew up, it's hard for me to imagine what they're going through. Like, I can't sympathize with these kids. You know what I'm saying? I can't really sympathize with them because, like I said, I grew up with nothing. So, I feel like they just should shut up and just take whatever they get. But, of course, that's not the way of the world. That's not the way the world is situated right now. So it's like I don't know. I mean, luckily for me, I don't have any young kids right now. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't got to go through that. My daughter, my one kid is grown. She's 22 years old. So I don't really have to worry about that part of it anymore. It's just I do know that the kids are different from when we grew up. And you can, people can say what they want to say. Some people point fingers at us, us, the parents, right? And I will say, I think we're kind of guilty of certain things. I will say because like, for example, like I knew because I grew up so poor that I wanted everything for my kid, right? So I was, the whole thing. And I know you guys probably, if you're my age, you done heard it. Your friends and your peers all done said it. I don't want my kid to want for nothing. I don't want, So that's what we did, right? We made sure that those kids had every single thing, every pair of Jordans, every iPhone, every Nintendo, Wii, Switch, whatever the case may be. They had it, because we wanted to make sure that they had it because we didn't have it, And, like I said, I feel like to a degree, I'm kind of guilty of that too, But it definitely changed. These kids are different. These kids are different, bro. I'm trying to tell you, they are 100% different. And that kind of thing. Glass, if you want to join me, like if you got some time, let me know. There go the number right there. If you want to get in on the conversation, I got a couple other things I want to actually run by you anyway. So if you want to do it, let me see if I can get this phone up here. There you go. So if you want to hit that up, let me know. Jump in here and let me know how you feeling about some stuff. But yeah, like I was saying, I'm at the point where I watch these kids. And I'm just looking at them, and I'm just like, wow, like if you were born in the 90s, you wouldn't. Okay, I got you. Okay, so give them 5 minutes. I'm on vacation. Oh, that's dope. That is awesome. Yeah, so you can join whenever you feel like it. But yeah, them kids, they scare me. They scare me because they either are. I don't want to call them soft. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. They are definitely different from when we grew up. You know what I mean? And I know why that is. You know what I'm saying? I know why. So like it's either they were raised by YouTube or Call of Duty or whatever. So it's always you stick them in front of some type of screen. They either watching YouTube or whatever. Or they playing Call of Duty, and that's why we get schools and stuff getting shot up and all that. But I talked about that on the last show. But again, like you said, I am not in a position where I got a younger one like that because, like I said, my daughter is grown, so her decisions now are her decisions because she's a grown woman now. But I would hope that during the time that when she was younger. That I kind of got at her and had her going in the right direction. I hope I didn't have her turned out too bad because again she's a spoiled one. She kind of spoiled. She's one of them super depend on dad type of people. She called me about every single thing all the time, and that's fine. It's just that's the culture we created. So that's why our kids act like that. You know what I'm saying? So we can't really complain. I mean, I'm not complaining about it. I just want people to understand. Like I see your kids. I see them out there. You know what I mean? So don't act like, we don't see what's happening. I see the kids. I see them. I see the way they act. I see what they're doing. And I know where it comes from. You know what I'm saying? I know exactly where it comes from. And, and the thing that I find the most like, surprising, I would say is like the kids who came from the parents who had it the worst. End up being the worst, right? Because they're the ones who are spoiled the worst, right? So like the poorest person that like for example, I figure like we were very, very, very poor. So I know I went overboard with my daughter. I know I did. I know a lot of people who I grew up with and went to school with and things like that. People who I still talk to, who go crazy about their kids, man. And for example, like my sister, man. Like her, her sometimes, she likes to like snap off sometimes. If you say something crazy about like her kid or point something out negative about her kid, like they ready to snap off on you. So, like I said, a lot of it, like we complain about the kids, but a lot of it is us. You know what I mean? A lot of it is us. And all I'm saying is for people who are out there going a little overboard, going a little nuts with the kids, I would say, man, pay attention, kind of slow it down a little bit. Remember where where you came from, how it was when you were coming up, and I think the kid will be better off for it. I'm just saying, I just feel like for the most part, we are setting a bad example because and it's weird because it's a good gesture, right? It's the natural flow of things. You grew up poor, so you don't want your kid to be poor. So you shower your kid, and this, that, and the third, and that's it's a good gesture, but it really it's not healthy. I don't think it's the healthiest for the kid. Like some kids can handle it, and some kids do okay, and some kids just don't. I just look at the young people, who I see at work, and like it's so weird to like listen to them way they speak and how they hold everything like in such they are so high and mighty and like in the way they kind of look down on one another. If you like it's so I think they were talking about the AirPods. They were talking about the AirPods one day, and I just happened to listen to them. Been listening to them. Let's just listen to the kids talk, and they were talking about if they had regular AirPods, they were poor or some weird stuff. Listen to the way they were speaking. I was so thrown off by that. I was so like, wow, like you calling like that kid poor, like you have no idea. You don't even know what poor. You don't even know what poor is. You have no idea what it even look like. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of them observations. Again, it's one of the reasons why I like having this platform on this podcast, because like I see stuff and I if I see it, I feel like talking about it. I talk about it. You know what I mean? So and that kind of thing. So that brings me into my next topic, and this one that might be a little controversial because we always get a little bit of controversy in these shows. It's always something. I always try to talk about things that kind of get people thinking. So let's see if we can set this up proper. So we closing out year 2 of the global pandemic. So we and the global pandemic is lasting longer than people feel comfortable talking about. I just found some news out today that a lot of people who I'm really close to, a lot of folks got sick over the Christmas break and that kind of thing. Had somebody ask me this on Twitter. I think I did ask me directly. It was asking somebody. It was asking on Twitter, like, for people who have not got sick yet, how do you do it? Right? It's like, for people who haven't had COVID yet, how do you do it? And I'm just thinking to myself, like, it's really super easy, right? You don't try to live like normal, because whenever you try to do normal things in a world that's not normal, you're going to get sick, right? Because everything tells you that you can't do these things. You can't be going to family gatherings, and you can't be, shaking everybody's hands, and you can't be, doing all these things, but people do them anyway. And that's why that's why we continue to manifest this thing. And I'm like, look, I don't do nothing. Just stay at home. I just be chilling, right? But as long as we continue to try to be normal, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be a tough way to go. It's just gonna be a tough way to go. But now we get to the point where, and I was talking to my brother earlier today, and we was talking about this, and I was saying how it's so weird how if somebody on social media, on Facebook or TikTok or somewhere weird like that, was saying something about, you need to go and get your shots. Everybody need to go get. I guarantee you, people will be climbing on top of one another, trying to get shots. They'll be bootlegging the syringes, they'll be selling the COVID vaccines on the corners. You know what I'm saying? But because it came from the government and not from the regular like places where people usually get their information from, and especially in this day and age where if it's online somewhere, it must be true, and that must be what we do because everybody over there on TikTok is saying that's what we're supposed to be doing. So, but that's what we was talking about earlier. Was just saying how if somebody like early in this thing, if somebody on Facebook had said, "Yo, look, go get your vaccine or whatever." I'm telling you, they'll be on the street corners with them joints, man. They'll be illegally moving vaccines through the streets. You know what I'm saying, right? That's how bad people would have wanted them, right? But because the government said it, then nobody wants any. No, they don't want no parts of it. They want to rebel it. They want to say this. And they want to. I don't know what it is. Or just my body. My, whatever. I don't care. It's fine with me. I don't care. But the thing I want to talk about today was, now it's starting to affect people's work and people's jobs and your way of life. So at my company, like people who normally know I work for Samsung. Last month or the month before last, I think it was, they emailed everybody saying how, starting January 1, everybody got to be vaccinated by January 1 or, you face termination or whatever, right? Or regular bi-weekly testing or something with the test. Like you have to take a test like once a week or twice a week or something like that. But it was that or you out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then I started seeing it other places. I started seeing it here and I started seeing it there. And then I started seeing people talk about it. And it was like, oh, well, I wish my job would. I wish my job would. Then there was a couple other dudes who I know, who I work with, was saying, yeah, dog, so come January 1, I guess I'm gonna be hollering at you, bro, because I ain't going to do no shot because they told me to, or whatever. But then once we got close to Christmas, the same guy was like, yeah, bro, I've been thinking about it. Yeah, I got already went to schedule my shot because I got to get this done before January 1, so on and so forth. Right? It's crazy. So this is one of the stories that I looked at right here. Let's see if I can get it up here on the screen here real quick. So it says the Massachusetts. The Massachusetts Department of Corrections loses almost 200 workers over government Charlie Baker's COVID vaccine mandate. So it said the Massachusetts Department of Corrections lost all these workers. Let's see here. Lost all these workers over Baker's vaccine mandate, which required more than 40,000 executive department employees to be fully vaccinated against COVID-19 in mid-October. So it said that earlier this month, the DOC had fired 60 people, including correction and recreational officers, as well as custodians at state facilities. So this is a real thing. This is going down, right? People are really, 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 really losing their jobs over this. And look, I'm not up here saying you should do this or you should do that. That's not my purpose or my goal. I don't care. I know I do things for me and my family, and and my whole thing is I want to spread any kind of messaging that I spread. I want to spread pro-choice, anything. I feel like if it's thought through properly, if you have a legitimate, and I said this on the last show because it seemed like every show there's a COVID story. Listen, you do what's best for you. You know what I mean? But at the same time, this whole idea of listening to everything that you hear and read on the internet is crazy, And let me see. He said, shoot the number again. Let me see. I got you, boy. I got you, bro. There you go, right there. Yeah. So, but the idea, of listening to everybody and saying, oh, I'm just gonna do it because they said this and they said that, and I heard this and I heard that. To me, that's not legit. You know what I mean? That ain't legit enough for me. And if I'm a restaurant owner or some type of business. Hold on, we got a caller here. What's happening, bro?
What up, bro?
What's going on, man? So, hey, listen. First and foremost, man, I am so glad that you was able to join me on the show tonight, bro.
I'm glad to be here, man. I'm glad we got the opportunity.
This is cool. Yeah, because this is my first time doing a live call-in, which I think is super dope, right? So
hey, who else other than me to be on here, right?
you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So listen. So you heard what I've been saying earlier. So let's before we continue with this COVID story. Were you paying attention to what I was saying about the kids and like how how we kind of grew up not having much and these kids expecting so much? I want to get your take on that before we get into this COVID stuff. What do you think about this?
I'll be the first to tell you. I know my kids are spoiled.
Okay.
It's like you can't even.
Right.
It's like you can't even tell them no. They have an attitude. So it's like just like you said earlier.
Yeah.
Our parents want the best for us, and we want the best for our kids, and so on and so forth. But my thing is, instead of just giving it to them, you got to make them earn it.
Absolutely.
Know what I'm saying? You can't just give it to them.
Yes, absolutely. I 100% agree. I got to tell you, I was saying how I see people's kids out here, boy, and I'm telling you, they definitely over the edge with it. They're definitely a little carried away with it. You know what I'm saying? So
now, this is what I'm gonna say about that, especially when you said the people buying 2 systems for 2 different rooms.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't know if I go that far, but I think if I had the means, and I believe you too, if you had the means, the millions of dollars, you probably do the same thing.
Well, things are different though, Glenn. Like that's why I prefaced it the way I did, because back when we were growing up, you had to play the game in the same room. And obviously we was only gonna get one system. It was 3 of us, and we had to play with that one system. You gotta figure it out, right? So things are a little bit different now. I mean, obviously the games ain't even set up where you can play in the same room, right?
Mm-hmm.
But just I'm just saying, the thing was just watching the guy buy 2 separate gaming PC setups, like thousands of dollars a piece. I'm talking about like $3,000 or $4,000 a piece for the systems and the monitors and the whole nine. It just blew my mind. It did.
I know that's crazy to me. But you know what? PC systems, I might do that.
Yeah.
Gaming systems, hell no. But with that being said, I'm gonna have to get my PC system before I give them PC systems.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? For real. But yeah. Right. So, but I figured like I figured somebody like you would know, because you got your kids are kind of grown too. So we done kind of been through it. But it's like, of course you want to. Because of the way we grew up, you definitely didn't want them to go through the same hardship. So you want to do a little bit better. But man, some of them are just ungrateful, entitled. It's crazy. So.
Right. Like I said, I don't mind spoiling my kids, but I'm gonna spoil you to a certain extent. I mean, I'm not just gonna give it to you without you earning it. You got to show me something in return, or before I even get it for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Right. And then like I said, I had learned today that a lot of folks who I know, close people that I know, got caught up in the COVID thing that, over the holiday, bro, trying to do too much. And I was just like, wow, okay, it is what it is. But here's the thing that I really want to talk about. I don't know if it's like this at your job or not. Have they rolled out mandates at your job yet?
You don't have to be vaccinated. You ain't gonna lose your job if you're not vaccinated.
Okay.
But all right, I'll put you like this: if you get COVID and you are vaccinated, you
don't
out
get
for
paid.
10 days with pay.
Oh.
But if you're not vaccinated, you won't get paid.
Okay, I guess that's kind of fair. That's kind of fair, I guess. But some of them are super hardcore with it, man, and they are really putting people on the chopping block. And like I said, there was dudes who was talking that crazy talk earlier. There was like dudes in my group. They were like, "Yeah, bro. So I guess I'm gonna be peacing out after Christmas or whatever." And then Christmas rolled around.
They willing to lose their jobs because they won't want to get vaccinated.
See, the thing is, Glass, I really believe that a lot of people blow a lot of smoke. When it comes to this kind of thing, because think about it, right? Even if you felt a certain type of way. Like, for example, like if you felt, well, I haven't been vaccinated because of this or because of that, and it was your reason for doing it. But the minute they bring up your livelihood, you really got to think about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You really got to think about that. You really got to be like, okay, I understand, that it's a lot of, this thing is brand new. There's a lot of, unknown knowledge about it. Whatever people have been saying, right? But now we're talking about. Well, okay, so I can just not do it. I can stick to my guns, and and now I run the risk of A, getting sick because I'm not vaccinated, and B, I can't even afford to go to the hospital because I don't got no job now. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Don't get me wrong. If you got a legitimate reason, if you hardcore how you your ideals, I'm cool with it, but you're going to have to deal with the circumstances. You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you 100%.
I got 2 guys at the job that I found out that they're not vaccinated. Now, It's so funny how the right wings feel about it. I know how I feel about it. When they told me they wasn't vaccinated, I had to take a couple of steps back. Like, whoa, okay, number one, don't get next to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the fact that I have there's a responsibility I have taking care of both my parents that I have to get vaccinated. I have to make sure they have to get vaccinated. I just took my dad Monday to get his booster.
Right. Yeah.
Because I can't catch it. and pass it on to them.
Yes.
So it ain't even about me anymore. It's about the people, my family, and my friends that's around me that I got to take care of.
Dude, I'm with you 100%. And that's what I was saying. Like it was Vern's parents, right? So we're the ones who tasked with taking care of them because they live close to us, right? So of course, they went and got themselves vaccinated around the same time we went and got ourselves vaccinated because we had to go over there and check on them, and and she cooked dinner for them twice a week and all this kind of stuff. I would hate to bring some up in their house. You know what I mean? Like that would be the worst. That would be the absolute worst, And so it ain't like it's more than about you. So I got this homegirl. We used to be friends. I don't know if we're still friends or not. I'm not sure, but I'm just saying. Because I don't know because she been on this anti-vax thing like super hard, and like a lot of stuff she be saying, and she's a mother too, which is really crazy to me. Like I don't understand it, and I mean I don't understand like it ain't about you. Because like people don't understand like the way this thing work is, if it's one person, let's say one person is carrying it or whatever, who's infected, every single person they come in contact with forever, like in that whole entire day or whatever. Well, let's say it's been a week. You know how many people they might have done touched or talked to or hugged or that's a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? And you ain't thinking. People ain't thinking about that. They're thinking about somebody getting them sick. They're not thinking about them getting somebody else sick.
I know. I know.
Which is ridiculous.
And the sad part about it, I don't mean to interrupt you. Sad part about it is that you don't know right away if you have it. So, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta wait a couple of days to get tested again. And to talk about testing, have you seen these pop-up COVID fast tests that's around? I don't know if it's around in
No. I haven't seen it. No.
They got these buildings where you can get a quick test. And I'll put it to you like this. It was last Friday morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, in front of this building. It had to be about 50 people waiting to get tested. That's how serious it is. So I guess they're going to get tested before they go out and visit their families for Christmas.
Yeah. See, that is just so crazy, right? That is so crazy. Yeah. I just remember, people telling me, they asked me like, oh, when I came back to work on Sunday, they like, yo, what did you do for the holiday? I'm like, well, me and the wife, we just stayed at home and watched movies all day. They're like, well, you didn't go see family and stuff? I'm like, no. I'm going to see no family. You know what I mean? Like, it's better for me to stay where I'm at and for them to stay where they at. It's better for everybody right now. You know what I mean? Like, it's just craziness, man. And I'm telling you, this whole job thing is wild. I'm surprised, number one, that we had to get to this point where you got to threaten folks' jobs. You know what I mean? Like, it's already bad enough that, you can't even get you can't even go through a drive-through and get it, in a decent amount of time because they ain't got nobody working the drive-throughs. Now they firing folks for not being vaccinated. You ain't never going to get no work in the drive-through now. You know what I mean?
But on a serious tip, my wife worked for the financial department for a nursing school. And you'd be shocked to know there's nurses out here that are not vaccinated.
Really?
There's nurses out here that are not vaccinated. I know, and I think it's New York. A lot, like thousands of nurses got I guess fired. From the job.
Yeah.
There's student nurses. Students that want to be nurses dropped out because they didn't want to get vaccinated. That's how serious it is, man.
And see, and that right there, it just baffles me even worse because they're in the health field. They know what's going on. They know more about what this does to people's bodies than anybody else. Like, they know. How can you be a nurse and not want to get vaccinated? Huh? See that actually.
If I didn't see it firsthand, I wouldn't believe it. But I've been there, listen to the phone when the nurses call. Like, you know what? I'm quitting this program because I don't believe in being vaccinated.
That is so crazy. That is so crazy, man. But again, that's why we going into the third year of dealing with this. Like, but it's one of them things where because, especially in this country, because of the way folks are responding or behaving toward this thing, I think it's going to be a thing that we're going to just deal with on the day. We're going to have to just deal with it. It ain't going to never going to go away. It's going to keep, it's going to be, Delta, Omicron, Beta, whatever. It's going to keep going because, we not doing the proper things to eradicate it. And it's sad, and when all you had to do was like, just say, like, let's everybody get on the same, like I was saying earlier, Glass, I don't know if you believe this or not. But I was saying earlier, if that information had came from Facebook or TikTok or somewhere, folks would be moving illegal vaccines on the corner. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody would be wanting the shot. They be wanting to get a shot every day. You know what I'm saying? But because it came from the government, it's like nobody wants to. They don't want nothing to do with that. You know, because it's top secret. They whipped it together in 3 days, and all this other stuff everybody be talking about. It's nuts, man. It's absolutely crazy.
Man. How you gonna make something medical, a medical pandemic, political? That is so crazy to me.
It is nuts, man. It is absolutely crazy.
And the funny thing about it, Trump was the one. I blame Trump a little bit on this situation, but who ends up getting a vaccine anyway?
Oh
that's
absolutely.
The crazy part about it.
Absolutely. And he went back and forth. He was pushing for it, and then when he lost the election, he acted like he didn't want to do it, but then he ended up doing it. It was crazy. You know, one thing that I like about doing this podcast is because I get to talk about stuff. But it seems like every single time I do a BQW, it's always a COVID story, right? But you know, it's always a COVID story. It's always one. I've been trying to avoid it, but it's like all over the news or whatever. But luckily, I did, and I figured I'm glad I got you on early because this one right here might take a few minutes. This might take a few minutes, right? So I know you probably heard already, but you know, your boy Jay. So let's see if I can get it set up properly. So basically, Alicia Keys was doing a Twitter Spaces talking about her new record or whatever, right? And somebody in the Twitter space asked Jay about Verzuz or whatever, right? Let's in case you hadn't heard it yet, Glass. Let's take a listen to it real quick. Here we go.
Nobody can stand on that stage with me. I ain't gonna lie, no disrespect. Everyone's amazing and done what they done. No one can stand on that stage with me. I'm just telling you guys the real. Like, there's not a shot. There's not a chance in hell that anyone can stand on that stage with me for I don't know how long it is. 2 hours, 1 hour, 2 hours.
Right.
Look,
you gotta stand in front of the Grandy family freestyle live. No one's ever even seen me perform that. Like you gotta stand in front of that. That ain't gonna never happen, man. Let's move on from Verzuz and let's get back to the this Keys album.
But first, before we move on from Verzuz, definitely.
So check it out.
Husband has.
So check it out, right? So first, the first question I gotta ask you, Glass. The first question I gotta ask you after Jay said that. Do you agree with him?
That nobody can stand with him on the Verzuz?
Yeah. Do you agree with Jay? Do you agree with him?
Q, you ready for this, man?
I'm ready.
Can't nobody stand with that man on no Verzuz. Nobody around here, man.
Dude, listen, bro. I'm with you. I'm with you. Listen, I done heard and read so much goofiness. People throwing out names like Lil Wayne and Drake and weird. Listen, Glass, I'm gonna say this, right? And then I'm gonna get your take on it. I believe that there's nobody alive that can actually do it properly, do it a Verzuz battle justice with a real live battle with Jay-Z. I think only one who can do it would be Big. I'm like, all his contemporaries are dead. So the only one who would make sense is his wife. She's the only one he can do a Verzuz battle with, and it makes sense. She's the only one, and I firmly believe that. I don't know how you feel about it. I don't know.
I totally agree. I thought we was gonna be on opposite on this one, but it seems like we're on the same page. Listen, man, check this out. Well, everybody, don't get me wrong. I ain't gonna say no disrespect. I respect these rappers, Lil Wayne, Drake. I even heard they said Future.
Yes.
Better than
Yeah.
Come on, man. Listen. You got. I'll say. You can say Drake is Poseidon. You can say Future is Aries. I can't remember any mythical other guys, but Jay-Z is Zeus.
Jay-Z is Zeus, right?
Y'all can battle amongst each other, but when y'all step up there, you better be ready. Every 20 hits they got, Jay-Z got about 30, 40.
Dude, listen, let me tell you, right? So I put it up on Twitter the other day when I was first thinking about adding. Like I knew this was gonna be the main story that I was gonna do on the show, but I put it up there, and so people were responding to me on Twitter. One of my homies, Steve. He threw a couple names at me. So first he was like, listen, if Jay gonna say something like that, we need to see Jay actually get on the stage and do it. And I feel like, why waste his time? But then this is what he gonna tell me. He was like, well, instead of just saying can't nobody step on the stage with me, why don't you call out the white boy? So I thought about that for a second before I responded. I was just like, yeah, I mean, M is dope. I think M will destroy just about anybody he step on the stage with. Jay-Z in a different class though. It's a different thing to me. I don't think that would work. What you think?
I told nobody. No, you can't throw nobody up there that's alive that goes toe to toe with Jay-Z. He even he got ticked when they compared him to Pac and Biggie, and he was mad because he said, like he said in his verse, you know, you got me chasing after ghosts. I can't go toe to toe with somebody that's not here.
That's right.
Just imagine with the Locks and who is it? Locks and who? Dipset.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. Now, you know, the Locks destroyed Dipset.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I saw that coming.
On there.
Yeah, I saw that coming a mile away. Though.
Right. But with him doing a freestyle, that took it over. Just imagine if Jay-Z did a freestyle on the stage.
I know. So the next thing that Steve threw at me, and it kind of had me thinking about it for a minute, but I responded pretty quickly with this. He said, well, what about Nas and Ether? I said, oh, Ether was a gut punch. Ether, Jay took an L with Ether, right? So Jay took an L. But what happened at the end of it, though? What happened at the end? So Nas won a little battle, but Jay won the eventual war, right?
Exactly.
Nas ended up going to work for Jay-Z or whatever. Like Jay-Z pretty much owned Nas, right? So yeah, you got a good lick in with Ether. Ether is nice, but Ether can't be your whole verses. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Don't get me wrong. I treat the verse just like I treat MMA. You might be the best out there, but there's that one punch that could sneak up in there and mess it all up.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
I see that one punch that you could throw at Jay-Z that'll take him off his game.
You know what? I think Ether was because but of course Jay-Z's so strategic. He would see that coming. He would know that Nas got Ether in his back pocket, and he gonna bring it out whenever. You know what I mean? But me and Vern was discussing this in the car the other day. You know, and I was telling her, I was like, listen, Nas might be a nice contender, but by the time we 15, 20 minutes into it, Nas done shut all his shots. Jay still got more clips in his bag. Man. You know? Okay, he got the extended banana clips up in his bag, man. Right, you know what I mean? So it was crazy. Like, so the next question was, it was like, who would be Jay's toughest competition? So another name that got thrown out there was Andre 3000, Busta Rhymes, you know, people like that. Mm-hmm. You know, first of all, Dre's catalog. I mean, listen, I'm a big Dre. I'm an Andre 3000 fan. I'm from the South. He's a god around here, right? But again, he can't stand on that stage with Jay-Z though. You know what I'm saying? No. But Busta Rhymes might be the closest thing you got to. It's the only thing about Busta that's a little bit. Busta got hits, but he gonna run out of steam after about the hour mark. You know what I mean? Right. You know? Right. But Busta got some big records, though. I can't see nobody going toe to toe. There might be some that come close because everybody. If you go regional, just like you said, some people in the South believe Future up there, Andre 3000 up there, Lil Wayne up there. If you come up north, it might be Drake, right? What have you. But everybody should know where Jay-Z stands. And I just think nobody can compare to him. Nobody can compete with him. I don't think so either, man. And so, in this whole idea of Lil Wayne, I'm telling you, this is going to be the most absurd thing about this whole entire situation. It's the most absurd part of it to me. Who the hell is Lil Wayne? Am I missing something here, Glass? When Lil Wayne first came out, I was impressed with his wordsmith. Don't get me wrong. I thought he came up with some stuff. I was like, wow. But to compare to Jay-Z basically built a culture. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Anything he said, people will make it trend. So
Nothing. Like I said, no. I guess I'm a disrespect. Not knocking
Yeah.
Lil Wayne, but Lil Wayne doesn't have anything on Jay-Z.
So listen. So this is what might have to happen, right? So what you think about this? What do you think about? So it's Jay on one side, and then you got Nas, Wayne, Busta, Eminem.
3, 4,
Andre 3000. You got 5 of them.
That's the only way it's gonna work.
I think it's the only way it's gonna work. Me too. I think it's the only way it's gonna work, man. I'm telling you. Dude. Listen. I say it in jest, but I really believe, and I really honestly believe, the only way a versus battle with Jay-Z would actually work for a full 3-hour show to work and be entertaining and not be lopsided, he would have to be on there with his wife. I mean, guys. It sounds stupid and it sounds preposterous. But really, she's the only one who can do it. She's the only one who can do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I never thought of that situation, but that's the only way that's going to work. It's going to be entertaining any way it goes, but for competition, that's the only way that's going to work.
That's the only way. And to me, that's sad. So, first of all, it says that a 55-year-old rapper has the crown, right? And then the whole time that Jay-Z been out, and, Jay-Z's career, almost 30 years or whatever, he's been around for a long time. Nobody has come close enough to challenge this man to a versus battle. What's been happening over the last 25 years, right? What's been going on,
That's the introduction of mumble rap.
Right.
It really don't have to make any sense.
Yeah.
At least I give Lil Wayne a little credit. His stuff makes sense.
It does.
Like the Migos and all that stuff, man. Yeah. But that just goes show you the greatness of Jay-Z. Like you said, 50-something years old and still could go toe-to-toe with anybody. And his catalog is tremendous.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm telling you, like, either his contemporaries are dead or it's had to be somebody like his wife.
Exactly.
And I actually think, there's a couple of people who I feel like will never, ever get the opportunity, or because of the circumstance. There's a couple people who I think will never ever grace that versus stage. Jay-Z is one of them. Like I said, unless they do something special with him and Beyonce, right? That's the only way I can see him doing it. So no, Jay will never rock that stage. Eminem is never going to rock that stage either, unless you do something with Dr. Dre or 50 Cent, one of his friends, because it's going to turn into something weird. Whoever you put him up there with, right? Or he gonna feel slighted if you put Eminem versus Machine Gun Kelly. Like I suggested that to Laverne, and she was like, "Really? If I'm Eminem and you suggest some Machine Gun Kelly, I'm gonna look at you like you're crazy." You know what I mean? Like that's what you want to put on stage with me, Machine Gun Kelly? Why? Because he white? Is that it? You know what I mean? Right. But you can't put him in there with nobody else. You know what I mean?
No.
It ain't gonna work.
You know how they say arrogance is bad unless you can back it up.
Unless you can back it up.
You can back it up.
Yeah. So I mean, so like I'm listening to Jay make that statement, right? And normally Jay's a cocky dude, and he say a lot of stuff with a whole lot of swag and everything like that. But I really think he was being 100% genuine when he made that statement. When he was like, "Listen, I really don't think I ain't just saying that I'm the greatest in them. I just don't think that there's nobody who can step on that stage with me and rock with me like that. I can't see it." And I feel like that was.
I bet you if you do the consensus of everybody listening to that statement, I bet you for about a good minute or two it was silent because everybody trying to think. If he was talking out the side of his neck, I guarantee you everybody be like, "Oh man, you talking a whole bunch of crap." No, you ain't. I bet you it was silent for at least a minute because people thinking maybe he's right.
Oh yeah, you know what I mean? For real. You know what I mean? Because that's what I was thinking. Because I heard about it before I actually heard the actual audio clip. I saw the articles and stuff online, and I was like, I don't know, Jay. You kind of tooting your own horn a little bit. But then I had to stop and think about it for a second. Like, I don't know. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, because there's a bunch of good rappers out there, man. I was watching the versus battle between Bone Thugs and 3 6 Mafia, which I thought that was going to be boring, but it was actually a little bit more exciting than I thought it was going to be. But what stood out to me was one featured artist that 3 6 Mafia brought on the stage, who this dude has been consistently killing it forever, and nobody gives him his flowers. But MJG from 8 Ball and MJG, this dude is a beast, bro. That dude is a complete and utter monster. And like to me, I watched his verse like 5 times when I was watching this. When I was watching it on YouTube, he single-handedly stole the show for me. I thought MJG came out there, threw that verse down, and it was bananas. You know what I mean? Like, but again, it's rappers like him who's great. I'm gonna tell you a versus battle that me and Vern kind of thought we would love to see is Mos Def versus Talib Kweli. But I told her to think about that. We would love that, but it ain't gonna sell no tickets. You know what I'm saying?
Right. People ain't going. People really, he's dead like underground type rappers.
Right.
These days don't know about them.
Nah, so they wouldn't be able to sell no. They wouldn't be able to fill no stadium with that. But it would be a good one though. You know, for real hip hop heads, they would like it. You know, but it's a lot of good rappers out there. They just don't have the longevity and like even somebody with longevity and a deep catalog, like somebody who just went into the Hall of Fame last month was LL Cool J. I wouldn't put LL on the stage with Jay-Z. I wouldn't do that either. You know what I mean?
Nah. You know, I actually think people are scared to get on stage with Jay-Z because they know they're gonna lose, and they figure, why waste my time? And I don't have nothing to go up against him with. So that's another aspect that you got to look at.
Yeah, you know, but here's the thing. Jay-Z said something that I thought was kind of cool in that statement, because he was saying how, you know, he liked, I mean, and I feel the same way. I think the Verzuz is dope for the culture, right? It does. Every time they do these Verzuz battles, whether it's the R&B people or the old school, you know, like who was it, Isley Brothers, Earth, Wind and Fire, like whenever they come on there and do the Verzuz battles, everybody always, we start remembering all these old classics, and everybody go and run and download or hit the Spotify or whatever, trying to hit them old records again, and they bring it back, you know, all the stuff that they did back to the forefront, which I think is amazing. I think that's one of the byproducts that's a positive thing for doing these Verzuz battles, is that you can stir that nostalgia pot up again, and people can, you know, sell a little bit more records or get a little bit more, you know, mainstream attention through because I mean, like Ron, the Isley Brothers, man, people have done pretty much forgot about them. But I'm telling you, you know, Ron come out there with the great beard and, you know, all that, you know what I mean? You know, it was dope, right?
Right.
So, you know, I love that aspect of it. So, like, maybe somebody would want to get on the stage with Jay just so they could get that 15 minutes of fame, like Jay can make them famous, like
exposure that they need to get their boost.
Right. I mean, look, it might even come at the cost of getting completely murked on stage. And you know, somebody who I can see going through with that and being 100% committed is somebody like Drake. I think Drake would go in hardcore, talking big junk before the bout, talking about how I'm not planning on winning, but I'm gonna go every round with him. I'm gonna go hit for hit with him, you know. And he gonna talk a lot of junk, and Drake gonna smoke him. I mean, Jay gonna smoke him, but Drake will come out, you know, better than he went in.
Yep.
You know, so
sometimes it's worth that humility.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean? So like, because that's what it's going to end up being. But you know, I definitely think I give Swiss, and I say this all the time that I talk about this Verzuz stuff. I give Swiss and Timbo all the credit in the world for coming up with this in the middle of a pandemic. And it's a slick idea. It's dope, right? And then, you know, and at this part where now people are starting to go to concerts and stuff again, now they can bring it outside and sell tickets and stuff. I mean, everybody can. This is an opportunity for lost revenues, you know. Now people can work again, like they can do Verzuz tours or whatever, you know what I mean? Like it's so much they can do with this that is ridiculous. I think it's awesome, right? But you got to keep it for the culture, and that's why it's interesting when you get stuff like what Jay-Z saying that nobody can stand to. Like I like it. I think it's dope. You know what I mean? I think it's pretty cool. You know what I mean? I definitely like it, man. I definitely like it. You know what I mean? But yeah, so that's I was just talking about how this was going to be obviously this is the last BQW for the year, because you know I only do this show bi-weekly. But I'm glad, you know what, since I got you on here and you live on air, so you can't really act a fool, so I'm kind of gonna put you in a corner. At least I'm being honest about it. So I said this on the other podcast too, but I was saying at the beginning of this one that one of the things I wanted to do going into the new year is I wanted to bring some contributors on. So not last week, but the week before last, whenever I did the last show, it was a bunch of sports stories. It was COVID related, obviously, but it was the Antonio Brown, Aaron Rodgers, that whole thing, right? And I was like, whenever I had these sports stories, I want to have a sports contributor. Like, who better than my boy, who I know is all about the sports contribution? My boy, the Sage of Sports Glass, right? So I didn't get a chance to reach out, but I got you on the air. I'm gonna do it on the air live, so you can't really say no. Did you want to help me do being a sports contributor to the Bigg Q's World podcast? Yeah.
No problem. Let's go ahead and do this, man.
Yeah, see, because what was you gonna say live on the air? You weren't gonna be like, nah, because I ain't got time for that. You know what I mean? And now, and then I got another homeboy, homeboy Mark, who I've been talking to, and he gonna help me with a lot of the music stuff and the hip hop stuff. But it's kind of, I just want to bring some more people into the show and to make it a little bit more, because like I can sit and talk for an hour. I can do it. You know what I'm saying, right? But it was nice to be able to bounce stuff off other people too. You know what I mean? So,
Gotcha.
But yeah, so that was in the pipeline. I was gonna reach out to you within in the next couple days or so, but I had you live on the air, and I knew you couldn't back out. So, you know what I'm saying?
What you got for me, bro?
Yeah, you know what I mean. So listen, man. I want to thank you, man, again for coming through and helping me out with the podcast today, man. I definitely appreciate it. Because I was prepared to go in here and just rock it by myself, but I was like, yo, look at who just popped into my chat. You know what I mean? So I definitely appreciate it, bro. Definitely appreciate it.
No problem, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, since you said what you said, I had a couple of ideas I'm gonna bounce off you for the new year. So we will be talking later, bro.
Absolutely, cool. So, but while you got a chance, I got you on the air. If you got something you want to plug or whatever right now, now's the chance to do it.
Man, I ain't got nothing to plug, man. I think Facebook blocked me. Took my page down.
Oh my God! What's going on?
Urban Arena.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what I did, but they locked me up.
Wow, that's amazing. Wow. Well, you got to go back and do it. So
you can still follow me through Urban Arena on Facebook. I'm still rolling with that. They ain't got to that yet. Hopefully they won't. Yeah. On Instagram, the Sage of Sports, I'm still rolling with that.
Gotcha.
Email me at the Sage of Sports at gmail.com and all that stuff. But before I leave, I let me go, once again, thank you for having me on the show. I had fun doing this.
Anytime.
We'll be doing this more often later.
Oh, yeah.
But let me ask you this real quick, because I just heard this, going back to COVID real quick.
Uh-huh.
I heard a doctor said that they're going to treat this strand, the Omicron strand, like chicken pox. Whereas, back in the day, when one of us had chicken pox, we had a party with the rest of the kids, so everybody catch chicken pox.
Everybody get it at the same time.
You were saying because the Omicron strand is so contagious, but not as severe as the other two.
Right. Everybody
catch COVID-19, catch the strand.
Yep.
So your immune system could adjust to it.
Yeah. So
further on down the line in the future, we're gonna have this problem. What you think about that?
Listen, I think that's cool. It's just that's scary for me though. Like I'm telling you, I'm one of them immunocompromised people, and I don't know if I can gamble with it like that. I don't know if I could. I don't know if I because COVID does different things to different people. I think it's a good idea for people who are healthy. Yeah, y'all get together and go swimming together and all. y'all have an Omicron party. I ain't doing it. You know what I'm saying?
If you get compromised like that, I totally understand. Man.
Yeah, nah, that makes me nervous, man. That makes me nervous as I don't know what. But they were saying these breakthrough cases are making people like super immune to it. So it's definitely a thought process. You know what I mean? But again, Glass, I thank you for coming through and helping me out with the podcast tonight, man. I definitely appreciate it, bro.
Oh, definitely appreciate it. I appreciate you having me on the show, man. Much love, bro.
All right, no problem, man. Good. Again, thank you. Look, man, this has been the BQW, the Bigg Q's World podcast with your boy Bigg Q. You guys, y'all know the drill. Follow me on Twitter at biggqsworld, Instagram at biggqsworld. The Books of Faces, now called Meta, Bigg Q's World. Listen, until the next time, I'll see you guys in 2022. It's your boy Bigg Q. I'm out of here. Peace. And stop that. And let me